G'day folks, it's the Maple Monkey here again with another Marvel United gameplay video for you. And this time we're going to be looking at another one of the Spider-Geddon villains. So I think we've featured two of these guys now. We've featured Superior Spider-Man and Spot. So we're moving on to a somewhat controversial one, I think, from what I've sort of read online, and that is Anti-Venom. So you can see the model here. He's a anti-hero, and fittingly for Anti-Venom. And I can't remember if in one of our earlier playthroughs we've actually featured him as a hero. I think we might have, but yeah, apologies if I'm not correct with that one. But yeah, we're going to have a look at him as the villain today. And I mentioned he was a little bit controversial because I've seemed to be reading at I think he's supposed to be one of the ones that's sort of recommended. I think maybe even in the book it's recommended that he's sort of like the starting villain, you know, the one that you should sort of use first for people who are maybe new to the game and that sort of thing for that particular set, for the Spider-Geddon set. But there are some peculiarities to him that make him maybe not as suited for that, but we'll see how we go. So essentially he has these rules, as we're about to see here, that he makes you sort of lose he punishes you for having special effect cards and makes you lose access to them and sort of similar effects there. And I think I know that I personally, you know, when we're doing our homebrews and that sort of thing, that's one of the types of mechanic I don't enjoy very much. You know, villains that do that sort of like stop you from being able to have fun with the cards that make your character special and fun and that sort of thing. I don't really like, even though it might seem thematic in the you know, the way that the character works, it sort of takes a little bit of the fun away. And so but you know, that's what's been said, but we'll see how it works, how it goes together. Like, for example, some of Derek or Kanji from Kanji Studios villain designs. I'm trying to think, there was one, I think it was one of his designs recently where his character sort of, I think it was Fabian Cortez, he sort of like punishes you or makes you sort of use your special character cards, you know, or special effect cards a little bit differently, but in a way that you still get to use them. It just creates a little bit more sort of decision space around when you might use them and whether they can become a liability. So in that sense, you can do this in a way that you know, is still really fun. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing, how Anti-Venom actually plays on the table, and we'll see. You guys can sort of make up your own mind how you think he operates as a villain. So hopefully I've sort of explained my thinking around that pretty well, but we'll have a look. So let's start with the setup here. So he does have he's got a cool picture there too. He's got a special setup. So he's got set aside the Cleansing Master Plan card, and with the latest sort of batch of hero cards, or sorry, villain cards, they're starting to actually put starting Master Plan cards out now as well. So it makes it quite easy to find this. So you can see here, this is the cleansing one here. So we'll take that one, put it aside. Let's focus that again. Master Plan card, and place it on top of the deck after shuffling it. So we'll shuffle that. There's also, interestingly, if you're playing team versus team mode, so like the blue versus gold team modes from those expansions, the villain tracker gets a bit of a head start there, because I guess he might be a little bit easy to take on otherwise. And also, if you're playing the supervillain mode, where one person is playing as Anti-Venom, these are the starting tokens that the hero team get distributed. Now, we're actually going to be using a full team of 4 today, so he's going to come in with 8 health there. And let's have a look at his rules. So he's got, whenever a hero card with a special effect is discarded or turned face down. So if they're in the storyline, there's things that can turn them face down. Otherwise, there are things that can make them be discarded from your hand. So if either of those two things happen, increase the Anti-Venom track by 1. And this is his Anti-Venom track. It's the villainous plot, so it's one of the ways he can win. So it's going to start on 0, and it goes up by 1 each time that effect happens. Now it says here, heroes lose when this track reaches 6. For 2 players, 7 for 3 players, so in our case 8. So we're not looking forward to it hitting 8 there. Now then, let's have a look at this. So how does this happen? So on his BAM card, on his BAM effect, I should say, each hero in Anti-Venom's location, so it's where he lands, must discard, so it's each hero, must discard one card with a special effect from their hand. If they have none, they take 1 damage and must turn face down one of their cards with a special effect in the storyline. So you're taking damage. If you basically sort of don't have the cards in your hand, you're taking damage and having to turn them face down, so you're still suffering that effect. So it's, I guess you could maybe try not to put them down in the storyline, but then you're going to have them in your hand if you do that, I guess. So, yeah. All right. So there's not a lot you can do about it, I guess. Cleverer folks than I might be able to work out a way to sort of game the system, but it just seems bad. It seems painful, I should say. Okay. So, all right. So, if one or more civilians or thug tokens cannot be added to a location, then the overflow effect is each hero must discard 1 card with a special effect from their hand. So it's the same thing here. If they have none, they take 1 damage and must turn face down one of their cards in the special effect, with a special effect in the storyline, if possible. So it's the same effect. So the BAM effect and the overflow effect are the same. So I guess I can see why maybe they've recommended him in terms of what he does. It's pretty straightforward. He's basically going up this track, and the BAM and the overflow both do the same effect. So in that sense, there's not a lot of other moving parts to him, right? So that's possibly why he is listed as a good sort of beginner hero. Maybe not the most fun, I guess. Well, that's we're yet to tell that. Time will tell. But that's possibly why. So we'll put that down there. We've got a little tracker here, a little white one. I think that's the one that comes with the Spider-Geddon set. We've got our regular mission, so we're looking to either rescue 9 civilians, defeat 9 thugs, or clear 4 threats to make him vulnerable and then be able to hunt him down and try and take that 8 health off him. Now, let's have a look at these threats. Speaking of threats, we have 2, I think there's 2, 2 power negation cards. So these are cleared with heroic tokens, and as long as this threat is in play, heroes can't move during villain turns. So, at first when I was reading that, I was thinking, what? You can't move? But it's on villain turns. So, reading through some of these threats, and there's a second one of those power negations up there, so there's 2 there. Let's see, body cleansing, there's 1 in this location and 1 in our starting location of these body cleansing ones. If we have a look at this, as long as this threat is in play, Anti-Venom can't be given tokens of any kind. So I believe one of the things about him is that he's sort of designed to interact with maybe a lot of the heroes that are in this set, because I believe there are some heroes, I think maybe Silk from memory and one of the others, have some abilities where if things happen, like basically if the villain sort of lands in their location or whatever, they might have a card that lets them jump out of the way and avoid the villain hit. So this one stops that ability to be able to move on the villain's turn. So yeah, no, I'm not I can't think of any at the moment, any other heroes from previous sets that have that ability, but wouldn't surprise me if there are some in the X-Men set, for example, that might have that sort of an ability to sort of interrupt the villain turn by moving. So that power negation is going to interrupt that, and then the body cleansing, there's probably also some heroes in the Spider-Geddon set, plus I can think of a whole bunch of other ones in the previous sets as well that might put out things like stun tokens and that sort of thing. So you can't sort of give him a stun token, so that's interesting as well. Now, in terms of delaying the villain turn and things like that with those delayed tokens and things like that, I don't think they're given to the villain. It does say of any kind, cannot be given a token of any kind, but I think it specifically has to be some sort of a token that's given to the villain rather than some sort of token that sort of interacts alongside the villain or whatever it might be. So I'll have to have a read of the specific wording of things like the accelerating and decelerating the villain turns. Is that a word? Decelerating? So let's have a look. Well, I think we've looked at that. Actually, no, hold on. There's one more, isn't there? Sorry. There's one more threat here, and that's the camouflage. There are 2 of these. As long as 1 or more camouflage threats are in play, Anti-Venom ignores 1 damage each hero turn. Yikes. So there are 2 of these. So these seem like a key candidate for removing. The other ones, because of our loadout of heroes here, as you might see shortly, these other ones don't seem like they're going to necessarily interact with us very much, so they might not be as pressing a concern. So, but these camouflage ones certainly seem pretty nasty, so we'll have a look at that. 2 of those, so there's 2 camouflage here. Looks like there's a body cleansing here and here, and then on opposite sides to each other we have the power negation. Okay, let's have a look at our heroes then. I thought if we're taking Anti-Venom as the enemy, as the villain, I thought, well, the obvious choice, and I can't remember using him at least recently, so he'd be a fun one to use, is Venom. So we've pulled out Venom here. He's a hero from the original run of Marvel United, and he doesn't actually, interestingly, because he's from that first set, he doesn't have any starting hand cards. So he does have special effect cards, but he doesn't have a lot that might sit there and give him ongoing benefits. That's the other thing I think that's the thing that, you know, for me, oh yeah, you know, this track's going to go up pretty fast and that sort of thing, because he's turning down your special effect cards, and you know that's fair enough. But it's when your character sort of relies on, or you know, it's fun because they have some sort of ongoing ability, and if that gets cancelled, that's where things can get a little bit rough, I think, and that's you know, for new players and that sort of thing especially, that could be something that might turn them off. But even as a veteran player, I can tell you that's something that I don't really look forward to. But I guess one of the things with Marvel United as well, it's pretty modular, so you can adjust things, you know, in many different ways. For example, you could pick specific locations or heroes and things that might have effects that let you turn hero cards back face up again. I don't think there's a lot of those, but if there are, that's one thing you could do to sort of alleviate things. So I haven't specifically done that. I can't think of anything that does that at the moment, but that's just something to bear in mind as well. All right. So we've got Venom. Let's have a look at his. We'll draw top 3 cards. We don't have to have a specific starting one. He's got 2 punches. He's got, oh, here we go, he's got a special effect. He's got, you can move to any location and punch there. And he's got, you may draw cards until you have 3 in your hand. All right, he's got a bunch of punches and movement there. All right. Now, one thing I've noticed thinking about my strategy here is that my characters, I think with this team that I picked, one of the things, so we've got Venom there. I've also then just picked a whole bunch of these new promo cards. Some of them are newer than others, but these heroes that I don't think I've used them on camera before, because they're part of this new, these sort of Gen Con and those different places had sort of exclusives, and then they were sort of available through the Dice Tower and that sort of thing. So these are new sets that I don't think I've used on camera. Yeah, so let's have a look. And I don't actually, I think I might have used Juggernaut on Tabletop Simulator, but I don't think I've used the other 2 at all. Maybe Grey Hulk as well, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's introduce them. So we've got Grey Hulk. So unfortunately, I haven't painted. I do have another copy of a Hulk model, but I haven't painted him up yet. So, and I thought, well, I do have a painted Hulk, so he's just feeling a little bit greener today than his normal grey self. So we'll have a look at that. But he's got a starting hand card, and then we should shuffle him up. Shuffle, 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 and we'll draw 2 more cards plus our starting hand. So his starting hand card says Growing Rage. And as long as this card is face up in the storyline, for each damage you take during a villain turn, you may gain a punch token. Great, that sounds like a really good thematic thing for Hulk to be doing, and for this to get turned face down pretty early in the game would be not very fun for the Hulk player, so that's just something to think about. Oh, we've got another one here. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, if you start your turn with only one card in your hand, you may draw 2 cards during your draw step. Again, not going to happen if we lose it. And we've got a move and a star here. So, alrighty then. So that's our starting hand for old Grey Hulk. Now another one we've got here is Good Guy Juggernaut. So Juggernaut waking up on the right side of the bed, and he's decided to help the heroes. Alright, so 1, 2. And what's his starting hand one here? Protecting the weaklings. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, each time a civilian, or one civilian, in your location is about to be discarded, you may take 1 damage to prevent it. And that also gives you a heroic there. The only thing is I can't think of any effect in this particular scenario that might trigger that, so that's something to bear in mind with Juggernaut. What else has he got? Oh, oh man, he's got both his, I don't know, he might actually have more special effect cards in his deck, but he's got 2. So he's got a move, an attack, and then an attack, and he's got this Juggernaut armor. You cannot take any damage until the beginning of your next turn. Alright, so that's his opening hand, and we have, and should show off the model, I guess, although I haven't painted him, so there we go. Big guy. I like his model there, sort of crunching through the terrain there. And we didn't show off Good Guy Venom, did we? So there's old Venom. Who knows, maybe we're the bad guys. Maybe we're the bad guys. That's one way to look at it. And then we've got Deadpool. Now this is the Hero Deadpool model, although, and there is a Hero Deadpool deck that matches that model. This is the X-Force Deadpool, but they've posed, or they've used the artwork for the other, the I don't know if I've shuffled these, the what is it, villain, I was going to say Venom, the villain Deadpool. They've used his sort of pose for this artwork, so I guess you could sort of, you've got a bit of a choice with how you paint them up. So I think I'm probably going to paint the X-Force Deadpool like this, I think, but I haven't quite decided. He's not really on the top of my priority list, so, and you guys know I'm pretty slow with the painting anyway, so hopefully we'll get to him eventually. I do love painting them, I'm just very slow at it. So let's have a look. He's got 2 starting hand cards. Improve resistance to everything until the beginning of the next turn. Any special effects on master plan cards played have no effect on Deadpool. Okay. Regenerative healing factor. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, if you have less than 3 cards in your hand at the end of a villain turn, you may draw 1 card. And, oh, a double wild. Dun dun dun. Alright, so, righty then. Let's get into it. Okay, so, oh, and you know what we've got to do as well? We need to shuffle, I don't know if I did this yet, but we need to shuffle his deck. And, ooh, pop that there, and then put this body cleansing one, or cleansing, whatever it's called, on the top. Alright, so, let's just move our hero decks out of the storyline. And our hands as well. Alrighty then. Put that there, we've got our starting spot. So, I would say, well, let's see what he does first turn, but we sort of know what he's going to do every time. And I guess it's designed to be this way. So we have a look here. Let you guys read what that cleansing one does. So I think you can see the implications here. So the way this works, you're pretty much guaranteed to have him sort of trigger his effect straight off, I think, if I'm reading that right. So he's going 3. 1, 2, 3, landing. Surprise! He's joined the party. Move 3. There's no BAM, but there is one hero in Anti-Venom's location must discard one card with a special effect from their hand if possible. Because you can imagine if this was a 3 or anything that says, that takes us straight to this starting point, then every single hero would be losing a special effect card from their hand at the beginning, and that would be pretty problematic. Now let me have a look at this. Each hero, whenever a hero card with a special effect is discarded or turned face down, increase the track by 1. So if he lands in a spot where all of us are, each hero in his must turn it. That's gonna. Oh wow. Okay, so if we're ever caught together, he's going to be racing up this thing, isn't he? We do not have many turns. Okay, so this sort of stops you from going 1, 2, 3, 4 in the first turn. I guess that's what this card is about. It sounds bad because it's like, oh man, he's going to do his effect straight away, but it sort of guarantees that he only gets the one boost from it, if I'm reading that right. Okay, so we have to pick one of the heroes to discard a card with a special effect from their hand. And discarding a card is, in essence, taking a damage as well. But it's just specifically always saying the card you get damaged with has to be a special effect one. And if you can't do that, you take a damage anyway and you turn a face down one on the board. And he's putting 3 thugs out. And I'm thinking, this is something I think I went to start saying this, and I don't think I ever finished my thought, which was, I don't think with this team of heroes we have a lot of heroics. So it might not be beneficial for us to invest heavily in rescuing a lot of civilians, apart from just trying to manage overflow. We might want to focus our efforts on clearing threats, so that so that we can get on with that. So that's the plan there, I think. Alright, so what are we going to lose? Who's going to lose a card? We can either have Venom, lose like regeneration or something like that. We can have we want to get at least some use out of some of these cards, don't we? Yeah, let's maybe have Venom. Let's maybe have. I think that's thematic for the first damage to be done to Venom. Let's maybe lose regeneration. So we have to discard this one down. Okay, and then we've got 3 thugs that need to be placed out. So we're going to put 1 thug here, one thug over here, and 1 thug over here. Right. Now, then let's maybe move. Let's have a turn. So we've done that. So I think we've put everything out. We're okay. We took 1 card got discarded. That pushes this up by 1, and we're off and racing. So Venom's going to draw a card. Then Venom is going to. He's got 2. What's he got there? 2 cards that got a whole bunch of punches, and we can see the punches is going to be a theme here, don't we? So you can move to any location and punch there. Right. So why don't we? He's got a punch as well. Why don't we maybe play this card here? Because what I'm thinking is these camouflage ones, we need to get rid of them, otherwise we're just going to be having to spend so many punches to try and take him down when we're trying to chase him at the end. We're probably going to be running out of time. So my plan is to send Venom straight here, move to any location, and punch there. The problem with this is I'm not giving movement to the Hulk, but he does have some movement cards here, so I'm trying to spread them out is my plan here. So let's maybe move Venom over here. That gets him over here, and it gets us starting on working on these locations. Plus, there are 2 thugs here, so we can use the 1 punch on the bottom of our card, and we can use the punch from the special action as well. So we can take out 2. Otherwise, we could have gone here, same thing, and then maybe punched before we left and punched this guy, but that gives others over here something to do, I guess. The other option is Parker Residence is very small here, so this is something we need to worry about in terms of overflow. The other thing to worry about, and the same thing with the Weaver Temple actually, that's not great, but this body cleansing over here, there are 3 thugs over here too, but maybe some of these other guys can head there, so I think we're still going to do this. We've defeated 2 thugs. I really need to get some heroics coming out here too. Right, speaking of heroics, it's now Grey Hulk's turn. So, Grey Hulk. So as long as this card is face up in the storyline, for each damage you take during a villain turn, you may gain a punch token. Now that's interesting. Is having to discard a card because of Anti-Venom's ability damage? Because normally they refer to things as, you know, you get delta damage, right? But for all intents and purposes, putting a card at the bottom of your deck is the same as getting damage, but it's not called out as damage. So that's an interesting question. Growing Rage. Would this ever get triggered? Because I don't think he doesn't have anything where he actually deals a damage. So I don't know if that Growing Rage is available to us or not. Otherwise, as long as this card is face up in the storyline, if you start your turn with only 1 card in hand, you may draw 2 cards during your draw step. So we know that we could start losing cards, so that could be a particular thing that might be helpful. I mean, they're all probably going to go away, right, pretty soon. So we could do that. We could move and we could... That's interesting. Play that down, get that ability for a little while, move and punch something. Or we could move and put a heroic down to try and sort of get through some of these threats too. That's interesting. Well, either way we want to move, don't we? What's old Mr. Juggernaut got? He's got some stuff he can do some movement with there too. Alright. So, well, we need to do some heroics when we can. So I think if we've got heroics in our deck, let's use them. Right. Got a punch. Let's maybe... I think I'll leave these in my hand, these 2. I drew, by the way, I think I either drew the move and the punch or I drew a heroic. Not the move and the punch, the move and heroic. I've got another heroic there as well. I think let's use a move and heroic there. We've got a move, heroic and punch. So, let's see. Put that out. Let's move Grey Hulk over this way. Let's put a heroic token down here. And let's punch out 1 thug this way. Right, now, then, Mr. Juggernaut, what are you going to do, buddy? What are you going to do, my friend? Draw a card. He has a single heroic, He also has this move, punch, punch, and well, that's pretty good. He's also got Juggernaut armor. You cannot take any damage until the beginning of your next turn. And another interesting one that says you cannot take any damage until the beginning of your next turn, but does this, you know, where you have to discard a card, does that block that, or that is an interesting question. I probably should have looked at some FAQs about this so I could actually give you the answers rather than posing these questions to you. But if anyone knows, if you've looked this up, if you've seen it anywhere on Board Game Geek, feel free to leave some comments in the comments in the comment section. I don't know about this protecting the weaklings thing, although it does have a heroic on it. I think I must have just drawn this single heroic as well. The move, punch, and punch sounds like it would be great for using late game, but it also might help us. Here's the thing, if we race out too quickly and do too many rescues though, too many punching of these thugs, even though I'm worried about them overflowing, and we do that too quickly and we're not catching up with this could be a problem as well. Tricky. Tricky. Well, we know we've got a move and a star. Boy, oh boy. Alright, let's try this. Lots of options here. Let's punch in this location. Then let's use the move and punch. So move and punch in this location. And then what I'd like to do is maybe use a move you know what, let's change that around. Let's instead of punching before I left, let's leave this guy here and punch over here in the Great Weaver Temple, and let's maybe put a star down on the Great Weaver Temple. Alright. I really want to get the stars down over here, but that's not really happening at the moment, is it? Alright. Okay. Not our turn. It is Anti-Venom's turn. Alright, what's he up to? He's going to do something dastardly. Alright. Hopefully you've read that. So he's going to move counterclockwise. So, where is he? This way? Counterclockwise? Alright, so he's going to move counterclockwise. Just follow the arrow, Daniel. Alright, so, to the next location with any hero. So he's going all the way around here to Juggernaut. He's going to do a BAM. So heroes in this location must discard a card with the special effect. Yep. And then he's going to go up to track 1. There we go. So Juggernaut is going to lose one of these cards. Well, it has to be one of the special effect cards, doesn't it? So let's keep the wild, I guess, and put the star. No, you know what? If we want to be using stars now, let's save the wild for later on, when we might need it for a punch. Big brain move there. Alright, so yeah, right. Okay. Okay, so yep. And he's going to put out some thugs. One back here again. Oh man, it's like I never left. Alright, we'll pop that there. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And that's his turn, as quick as that. Alright, Mr. Deadpool, what are you up to, buddy? Whoa, maximum firepower, look at this card. A lot of punches here. Maybe let's save that for later, if we can. Boy, I don't like how quickly that track is going up. Well, I think if ever there was a time to put some double heroics in, now would be the time. Didn't think about this, did I? I've left myself a punch. Well, alright. Let's not worry, let's not think about it too much. Let's go, what's that? 2 wild, so we can use a punch here, and then we can move, use one of these as a move. I really would have liked to have used more of them as heroics, but that's all we can do really. And let's put that heroic down here. And hopefully we can move Greyhawk away from there before we run into trouble. Alright, so now we're going to draw a card for Venom. Oh wow, look at this. What a nice time to get 2 wilds there, so that's not bad. So let's go, 1, 2, 3, 4 wilds. So this is where we are, so let's clear that one straight away. Okay, and or hold on a second. Hold on a cotton picking moment. If we can, basically if we clear that straight away, then we move here, we've not done much else here, right? But if we move first and then use the other 3 to clear this one, this is a bit closer for these 2 to get to and start working on, rather than just having one other person over here. So I don't know, I think that makes more sense. You guys can you guys can be the judge. Alright. So that was that's not too bad. We got a bit lucky there. I don't like we've got so much overflow potential here, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I think. Or the Anti-Venom metastasizes, or whatever he does. So, let's see, we have Greyhawk, I think it is, it's his turn. Alright, so Greyhawk, you're over here. What can you bring to the party? You've got superhuman stamina, you've got growing rage, you've got guy in a hat, Joe Fix-It or whatever his name is, Mr. Fix-It, and we've got move and punch. Alright, so who's coming up next? Juggernaut's coming up next. So if we leave you at least a star, that would be good. Pretty much we're only going to be using one. If you look at all of these, we're only going to be using one symbol at the bottom anyway, right? Growing Rage might be good, but I think we've got enough punches. We don't need extra punches that much. So we can keep that in our hand to discard rather than having to... Yeah, I mean there's not much you can do to avoid that. I think maybe let's use this star while we're trying to get rid of these threats and catch up with the punching the thugs here. So let's maybe use that. Where are we? We're here. I think let's place that. Let's then we need to move. We need to use one of these as a move. I'd love to finish it off in one go, but I don't think that's going to happen. We could finish this one off as well, but I don't think that's going to happen either. I mean, sorry, it could happen. It certainly could happen, but I don't know that that's what I want to do. What's the benefit of not finishing this one off straight away? Not much, I guess. Yeah, let's do it. Let's finish this one off, I guess. There's no real difference. So, I think, so let's use a star to clear this one. Then let's use one of these wilds as a movement to get ourselves over here. Also to spread ourselves out from Deadpool, so we're not going to lose, hopefully we're not going to lose 2 of these in one go. If we can keep ourselves spread out like this, hopefully that will work. Boy, he makes you think. He's certainly not... I mean, he's pretty standard in terms of, you know, okay, his effects, but boy, he makes it a tricky puzzle. All right, so let's step in and put a star down there. And what we could have used this for is a healing spot. I suppose as we're getting hit by these things here, this could be pretty useful if you have 1 or 2 cards in your hand. You may draw a card. So if we need to come back here, maybe it's not too bad. Alright, so that's 2. I think that's our turn. Yep. Yep. So we went Venom, Grey Hulk, Juggernaut, Deadpool, Venom, Grey Hulk, and then we're going to go Juggernaut, Deadpool, Venom, I guess, next time. Alright, so, alright, Mr. Anti-Venom, please, please look after us. Leave us alone. What'd you do? Okay, what's he up to? He is moving clockwise 5. Where is he? Where is he? He's here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's landing here. He's going to do a bam against Venom. Now Venom doesn't have a card that he can lose there, so with this effect as such. I suppose, okay, so there's that bit where it damaged. That's where, you know, questions about Juggernaut and that sort of thing, or whoever it was that had that thing, maybe it's Grey Hulk, about if you take a damage you gain a punch token, that sort of thing. So I'm guessing because it refers to damage as a different effect to like discard a card, I feel like that's probably the answer there. I think because it specifies damage, even though it's doing the same effect, it's specifying damage as a different thing. I think you couldn't use Grey Hulk's ability to take a punch token if, for example, you had to discard one from your hand. But if you didn't have one to discard, and somehow that card was still in there, and you could lose another card in the face down thing to get that ability, I think that would work. But anyway, alright, so, oh boy. So what's going to happen is, so he's landed there, he's going to do that. He's going to do that thing to us, so we basically, we don't have any, oh hold on. Yeah, sorry, we don't have a thing to discard from our hand, so what we have to do is, we still discard, we still get hit, so I guess let's lose the single punch. Where are we? We're over there. When's our turn coming up? Just wondering if we maybe save the double punch for later, but I don't know if there's going to be a later. I think he's going to finish us off pretty quickly, so we might need to do as much damage as we can early. Alright, so, oh my goodness, this is a lot of thugs. That is a lot of thugs. This is going to be some overflow here for sure. So, we're getting these two. I've skipped an effect. I should actually go back and do this, but we've got one here. There's going to be one here. There's going to be an overflow here. There should be a second one going out. So what happens is, right. What happens is, we were supposed to turn this one, because we couldn't discard one from our hand, we had to take a damage and then flip one over in the storyline. This one is one that we can flip over. So now that that's happened, this goes up 1. Now, the other thing is, this has happened, so let's have a look. If one or more can't be added to the location, each hero there must discard one, so it's actually Juggernaut. So that's something to bear in mind, is don't leave your character near an overflow, because if an overflow spot happens and there's no one there, then it's not a big deal. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that is very interesting. Alright, so Juggernaut's taken another hit here. He has to lose this one. Protect the weaklings. That's going down there. Alright. And that means this goes up one more. So we had, or did I already do that? I think we went up once in the first turn. What? Up once in the first turn, up another time in the second turn. We went up once, and then up once again. Yeah, we should be on 4. Oh boy. Ooh, okay. Don't like it. I don't like it at all. Alright, so... oh gosh. Juggernaut. Speaking of Juggernaut, it's his turn. Alright, Mr. Juggernaut. Oh, he's got a couple of these charge cards apparently. What have we got? What have we given ourselves? A star and a star. Well, okay. So Juggernaut could go... Save the charge. No, because then he's not helping us. Yeah, we've got to do this now, I think. Ah, boy. Could lose that charge, but if we lose it, we lose it. Alright, so he's now going 2 of these, so we've cleared this threat. What does this let us do? Maybe something good. Did we clear... Oh, I forgot to do this. You may turn face down one of your equipment cards to recharge any other equipment. Oh, well, we don't have any... Sorry, guys. I forgot that Venom had done this, so I should have read this ability. But it only interacts with equipment, and I don't think any of these guys have equipment. Nope, they do not. So, pop that there. What does this let us do? You may discard 1 card from your hand. Nope, don't want to do that. To gain a punch and a start. Wow, you get 2 tokens. So take a damage to get 2 tokens. But the problem is we've only got 1 card in hand, so that's not great. So let's do this instead. Let's have a turn with Deadpool. Alright, Deadpool, where are you and what are you doing? And you've got a star over there. So we have the maximum firepower, which lets us sort of do some targeted damage against single targets and some movement. We do need movement to get over here and sort of work towards these stars. We also need to clear some of these locations, don't we? We also have the improved resistance, which gives us a punch. Don't really want to play that one. Till the beginning of your next turn, any special effects on Master Plan cards played have no effect on Deadpool. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, this is the regenerative one. If you have less than 3 cards in hand, draw a card. It's got a star, but again, a star without any movement's not great. So I think we're going to use this one here. Alright. Now, is it B or Bo? Because I think it's... B. Arthur, right? From, is it the Golden Girls? But is it B or Bo? I think it's B. I could be wrong. But that's going to let us move and do the star that we want. It's not quite going to let us finish off the threat, but it's working on it, so... Who else gets a turn? Venom does. Alright, is Venom going to get a turn? Yeah, hopefully. Oh, but then we're all going to be in the same spot. That could be disastrous. Oh, man. Oh, this could be disastrous if I do this. Oh, okay, let's move in 1. Let's put a star down. Yikes. Then let's do a punch. Okay. So this looks good, right? It looks good. We're working on all the objectives here. Plus, it says rescue 1 civilian in your location, so we'll trigger that before we left. We'll rescue this civilian. There we go. Perfect. But the problem is, this could trigger game over right here, I think, if I do this next action. Because, although actually, oh, still, I mean, having the 2 heroes in there, it's still problematic. It could still cause all sorts of problems. But I'm going to have a turn with Venom, and if Venom has a way to do a star, which is what I'm looking for, to clear this location here, then all three of us will be in the same spot. And if he gets a card that says, you know, go anti-clockwise, was it? Yeah, counterclockwise to the next spot with heroes, that's going to be us. And that's 3. He'd be going up 3, and that's not including any overflow, and there's overflow that's likely to happen. So, alright, let's see what card we get. Oh no, it is 2. Although, hold on, hold your horses. Hold your horses. Interesting. Alright, well, I still think that's going to be very problematic, but let's have a look at this. Because what we can do is we can use this punch over here just to sort of try and stop any extra overflow happening there. We can move with one move. The fact that it's got an extra movement is good. We can move here, do the last star here. Alright. Move punch, move star. That has now cleared that. He's now under pressure, so he's going to be going every 2 turns, but hopefully within the next round we can take out a thug and be able to start doing some damage to him. I have to spread out. And alright, so I've got that extra movement. So what I can do is I could stay here actually, and then this says you may move to any other location. Great. I could also use that one movement to step over this way. This says if you have 1 or 2 cards in hand, you may draw a card, so we get to heal a little bit. That wouldn't be bad. We could also step back into this location, which isn't bad. So spreading out just so we've got more spots to hit him is not bad. But, you know, if we get caught out and then, like, we're the hero that it's our turn and we're way too far away from him, that gets annoying as well. But, I mean, then you sort of got a 50-50 chance, right, of which side of the board he's on. We could be over here to sort of deal damage to these guys, but again, being near them and when they overflow is not great either. I think maybe let's go over this way. I really hope he doesn't go counterclockwise and hit these guys, because that'll be at least 2. And then one of them's going to get No, he won't get KO'd, so one of these guys get KO'd? I think they're pretty healthy, actually. So at least it wouldn't be a cascading KO, I think. I think that's what I was worried about, was a cascading KO. Alright, so, well, we get to draw 1 card for ending our turn here. I think this is what we're going to decide to do. We get a single movement. Alright, and... well, we've put him under pressure. Let's see what happens now. At least we've completed 1 mission. Are we going to get to complete any more? Let's find out. What's he up to? He's moving 3. And he's going clockwise, but 1, 2, 3. Okay, okay. Not great in terms of, okay, we can make him vulnerable, but then we're not going to be... oh no. Oh, I didn't read that. Oh, this could be really bad. Oh, this is going to have to make us do a lot more work here, I think. Alright, so, first of all, move 3. Bring back in play a random already cleared threat in his location. If possible, or in the next clockwise, so that would be over here. So, oh man, that's going to mean we're going to lose this healing spot too. And the problem is, if he brings back one of those, what are they? Camouflages. Oh boy. Then he's going to be soaking up a damage every turn, or we're going to have to spend even more time trying to clear that. Oh boy, oh boy. Alright, well let's just see. I think this is... I mean, I think we're still going to be very dicey here, because... oh my goodness, he's putting out a lot of civilians here. Oh man, that's a lot of civilians. Okay. Alright, but I think if he gets that camouflage one, I think, oh boy, I don't know if we've got the time to take him out that quickly. Alright. Ooh, I don't really want to flip this. Okay, power negation. Gosh. Now we can put one of these back here because technically we could clear this again if we wanted to. Give ourselves that healing spot, but it doesn't come out of the pool of ones we've already cleared. So that's still, we still have cleared that mission. I believe that's still correct. But if he's got another one of those cards in there, that's not cool. Alright, so oof. Boy, boy. Lucky. We got sort of lucky, I guess. He puts 2 here. He's going to put 2 over here. There's an overflow. Puts 2 here. Now I believe this overflow, doesn't have an effect on us. If one or more civilians or thugs can't be added to a location, each hero there must discard a card with special effect from their hand. If they have none, they take 1 damage and must turn face down one of their cards with a special effect in the storyline if possible. But at the moment, that's okay. Alright. Problem being, he's here. So if we go in there to deal damage to him, and then this overflows later and we're in there, then we're sort of in trouble. Boy. And we've got to do 8 damage to him. Ooh. Do we have the movement? We've given ourselves a movement with Venom. I think it's Grey Hulk's turn. Grey Hulk is a fair way away. He's just drawn a movement. So we've got move and punch, wild. Well, I guess let's take a move and punch, right? Because this way we can... Oh man. Oh, we've got a star. That's not too bad actually. So we can move 1, 2. We can rescue one of the civilians here to make it maybe not overflow. And we can do 1 damage to him. And luckily the camouflage is not in effect at the moment. Alright, now Juggernaut, do you have the movement? Well, he's got this charge card, so I guess that's not bad. And he's got a move and a heroic, so I guess if he brings out any more things, that could be good. Wow, this is interesting. Ooh, okay. What an interesting choice, I think. Let's have a think about this. This lets us move. This lets us move again and then punch. And then we could do this punch. So we could do 3 damage to him. I think if we play this, we're going 1 with that movement. Then we can use this one here, move then punch, to move in, punch him. Oh, you know what? Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Sorry, we've cheated, haven't we? Because we haven't actually made him vulnerable yet. So hold our horses here. I think this is still what we want to do with Grey Hulk. But maybe let's think, okay, because we can still make him vulnerable, right? We can still do that. So, yeah. I probably maybe would have thought about playing something like this, because if I knew I wasn't going to be able to punch him. But I think since we've drawn the card and we sort of, you know, I don't know if that seems like cheating or not. Would we have known this? I think maybe that's okay. Alright, so we play this, but I'm just thinking Grey Hulk might want to, and maybe not even punch there. Maybe he wants to sort of go... What would he have had? 2 punches? Oh, but he was the one that was doing the rescue over here, wasn't he? He did that rescue. Because what he could do, for example, is he could come over here and punch maybe here, do a rescue here, and then he can discard a card, which is interesting. He could maybe discard this single movement. This potentially, you know, maybe I should have, because I didn't know what I was coming up with, but maybe he goes over here because he's only ever going to be able to do the one punch, right? So he just punches the guy, then he gets a punch and a thingy token. So this is entering the realms of solo playing, the benefit of solo playing, but I feel like if I'd remembered that we were only going to be able to defeat him, I might not have tried to step into his location, knowing that if I was going to bring a second character in there, or try to at least, then I ideally wouldn't have wanted two characters sitting in there, because if I can, I'd like to not have two characters being in the same spot. So that's how I'm going to justify that. I think I would have made a very different choice there. I would have probably played the same card to give someone else, the next player, another card to get in there, but I don't think I would have stood in there just to clear one civilian. Alright, that's my rationale. And now I'm going to do something dangerous here. It's going to be good for doing damage though. I'm going to go 1, 2 like we said, and then be able to do 3 damage. Now we've already taken 1 damage off, I believe, with that illegal hit before, so I'm just going to take off the 2 damage here. So it should be a total of 3 damage done. 1, 2, 3. So I should have 5 left on Anti-Venom. There we go. Alright. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Okay, so... and that's 2 cards. That's done. That's now Anti-Venom's turn. So, who knows, maybe not clearing that civilian over here might come back to bite me anyway and teach me a lesson for doing hindsight moves. Alright, so... no judgment here. No judgment. Alright, so... now, interestingly though... oh, this is something that I didn't consider, was it? I went for the greedy sort of attack there, but the next player, Deadpool, is not going to be given a movement there. He's only got an attack, so hopefully Deadpool's going to be somewhere... hopefully the game won't end, and hopefully Deadpool will be somewhere where he can take advantage of this. Now, have I... no, I guess, yeah, because I think we got up to 4 last time, and then this card here didn't actually cause any rise in the track, so I think we're okay. I'm just thinking, should that have gone up in the last round? Now, he's going to move... is this him? Yep, this is him. He's going to move here. He's going to bam. He's going clockwise. Yep, moving and bamming. And so he does that against Venom. Then he's going to put a bunch of stuff out here. So let's put these out. Again, I sort of do this, I sort of get ahead of myself here putting these tokens out, but I don't think this is going to make a big difference. We do have an overflow here, so Mr. Juggernaut is going to get hit. And also Mr. Venom is getting hit. So Venom cannot put something down, so he might... who's coming up next? Is it Deadpool? So if we survive this, Deadpool goes next, then Venom. So we do, if he's not moving, I guess Venom wants to stay there and use the double punch. So we'll lose this one, and if this doesn't cause too many overflows, we're okay. So we lose that one there. Juggernaut also has to lose a card. So hold on, that went up by 1. Then Juggernaut has to lose... oh no. Ah, bummer. Okay. Well, it's not really going to matter, but I'm going to choose this order here because I think Venom's about to... oh, that's a bummer because we had a double punch. Because Juggernaut is about to lose a health here. And then he's got to turn one of these face down. And... that means he's KO'd. There's nothing on here that says you play another master plan card face down if there's a BAM, so he triggers his BAM again. Each hero in his location must discard a card. So he's going to discard this card. Oh no. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3 in one go. That's another KO. But luckily there's no one else for him to trigger that, otherwise, yeah. Oh, so bad. Oh man. Alright, Deadpool. We haven't lost yet, but that's pretty close. That was disastrous. this overflow. So there you go, the overflow did get us, didn't it? Although that overflow was always going to get us, the single civilian wasn't going to be enough. So maybe a better decision would have been, you know, maybe those of you watching at home, when I came in, oh no, but I suppose, yeah, but I'm just thinking sometimes, you know, it might be worth not sinking all of your punches into attacking the villain. You know, if this had been a few thugs here, maybe sort of just spending one of the punches, you know, rescuing a civilian, doing a punch, leaving 2 spots open might have been better. But anyway, it wasn't an option anyway. Okay, so we've got to draw a card, I think, for Deadpool. This is pretty much, unless we get real lucky, this is probably going to be it. We're going to have to hope that between them, Venom and Deadpool have what it takes to deal, what is it, 5 damage. So Deadpool has drawn this, so he's got another one of these. B might be in danger. So what have we got? We've got a punch. So if we can get Deadpool into the spot, we can do a punch, plus this would be a second punch, that would be 2, and then we need to do 3 damage with Venom. We've got the regenerative healing factor, we've got the resistance to everything, but with no movement, that would not be very useful. So let's put these 2 out of the running. We've got maximum firepower though. Maximum firepower. So 2 punches against a single target in your location. And then 2 punches against a different target there. Right. So that's, otherwise, I mean, otherwise, yeah, they would have just said 4 punches against a single target, I guess, if you could do it to the same target. So interesting. Okay. So, I guess that's the best one to do, right? Although, aha. Is it the same thing? Because if we do, if I play this gives us move and a punch, which basically lets us do 2 damage. And then next turn it's a guaranteed damage, so that's 3 damage. We know we're getting at least 3 damage because Venom will wake up no matter what we've done, or what we get here. We're going to get a punch from here, so that's essentially 3 damage before working out what comes from here, and rescuing a civilian. Otherwise, this one is do 2 damage plus this one here, so that's 3 damage, but we're not giving a punch, so we need all of our punches to come from here. So, it doesn't really matter, does it? We're either rescuing or we are punching, because we're going to get to either defeat an extra thug with the extra sort of attack here, or we get to rescue a civilian, so... I think maximum firepower is pretty on point with Deadpool. With the look of him with this big giant gun here, but it would be fun to rescue B again. I think we've already seen that card, so let's do this one. Alright, so all this decision making, and it's not actually helping us out that much because it's going to be the same effect. So we are going to move in, do 3 damage to Anti-Venom, 1, 2, 3, and then do 2 damage to this thug here. We can't choose to do it to one of these thugs over here because the effect, I think, has to all happen in the same, because we're triggering that effect step, so it all happens in this spot here. So that guy gets defeated. We can't rescue anyone in the residence there, so alright, and let's find out what happens. Venom, alright. Look at old Greyhawk sitting here with all these tokens. Okay, that's not going to help, buddy. Alright, so... well, I guess the good thing is we get to draw 4 cards, right? But on these 4 cards, we need one of them. Alright, wake up Venom. I guess it's pretty fitting, though, that the final showdown... I mean, it's not necessarily the final showdown. We could get lucky and somehow the next card doesn't trigger 1 overflow, but I don't see that happening very much. So we get to draw 4 cards. One of them needs to have 2 punches. Alright, let's have a look. We've got a punch and a star. Not going to get it done. we've got a wild, oh, not going to get it done. Oh gosh. Move and a punch, oh, that's also not going to get it done. Oh. Symbiote enhancement, thank goodness. Now this doesn't say, alright, I just had a little mini heart attack looking down at the card again, because it's got a move and a punch, right? But it doesn't say move then punch, like that specific one for Juggernaut over there. It just has a move and a punch. So I believe you can do that in any order. Boy, oh boy. Alright, that was nerve-wracking. Holy moly. Well, down you go. First of all, let's get out of here, Anti-Venom. I tell you what, he's challenging. He's definitely challenging. That was very nerve-wracking. I hope I haven't made too many glaring errors. Apologies if I have. If I missed like a, overflow or something like that. Apologies for that, a bit of hindsight movement over there. But I think that shows a pretty good indication if you're sort of trying to focus and trying to play well there, that you can take him down. But very interested to hear what your thoughts are, those folks in the comments, about Anti-Venom as a character and how fun he might be. He certainly was challenging and made me really think about what I was doing. He doesn't prevent a lot of being able to sort of just go after them. He doesn't have a lot of stuff that says, you can't do this, you can't do that sort of. So you can get through it pretty quickly, I guess, with the 4 heroes and that sort of thing. But I do have to say, like I was wondering, how much is it going to be not fun using, are we going to be able to use our abilities and this and that? But as you can see, I was purposely, I guess, what it was doing, it was making me not want to play my special effect cards down. I was thinking, well, I'll get more use out of my, double action cards that are just normal cards. It gives me these that I can have in hand, I guess, to just discard, because I know I'm going to have to discard them at some point. I might get one turn out of them or something. But it just sort of feels like, and so I wonder what you guys felt, and if you've played him before, like, have you played your starting hand cards and things down and got a fair amount of use out of them before they get turned away, or not? Yeah, but it certainly, I was wondering, how much am I going to not want to play these cards? And it turns out not at all. I didn't really want to play the starting hand ones. The one-off effects, these special effects, like I was happy sort of playing them. Because you sort of get the, you're sort of getting the full ability out of the card sort of thing. But these, it really did turn me off using these, and I got to say, I didn't really enjoy that. It wasn't, I didn't really get to show off how Grey Hulk really works, or Juggernaut and that sort of thing, or how their deck is kind of designed to sort of work off those cards. I guess it shows that you can still be successful with them, even if you're not getting to use your starting hand cards and that sort of thing. You can still totally use Grey Hulk and be successful, and same with the others. But yeah, just not not the most fun, I guess, villain gimmick sort of thing. But yeah, but still not. So the gimmick wasn't fun, but I must say he himself was fun in a, like, he was really challenging, and I was like, can I beat him? Can I take him down in time? So I guess it depends on what you're looking for in your villains and that sort of thing. And I think I definitely wouldn't want to play him all the time. I wouldn't want to play villains like him all the time. But the game is so modular. There's so many villains, so many homebrew villains we're coming up with as well, that I'd not say that I'd never want to play him again, sort of thing. There's so many different ones you can play, this and that. I wouldn't say, hey, don't ever play Anti-Venom. He's not worth your time. I think he's still, he's definitely a good challenge in that sense. So yeah, well, there you go. That's felt like a really quick one. I don't know if I've maybe got this in under an hour. That would be amazing if I have. So I'll try not to rabbit on too much in the little outro discussion here. But yeah, let me know not just about maybe his gimmick there, but just how you felt about him in general. How do you rank him with your heroes from Spider-Geddon, or just with the other ones in general? What do you guys think about him? What do you think about the other villains? I definitely want to get Maul to the table at some point in the future. I'm trying to sort of intersperse regular Marvel United stuff with the homebrew stuff, so that folks who maybe prefer one or the other can still sort of get some viewing happening with the channel and that sort of thing, and enjoy it. So hopefully that's helping you out. Yeah, homebrew stuff. We've still got lots of stuff coming up. So man, so many different heroes to try there. Diversion Architect has updated a lot of the art on his Sugar Man and Abyss as well. So he's got some really nice art from Erwin Thunder on the threat cards now, and he's done his own alternate art scheme for Sugar Man's picture. So he sort of looks like he looks in the comics and that sort of thing as well. So yeah, that's really exciting too. So looking forward to printing some of those off and maybe getting to show them off down the track. Yeah, just lots of really cool battles coming up. Norlith's launching into Bloodborne. So if you like Bloodborne, I think it's a video game series. I don't know much about it, but he's, I think, planning on doing a fair amount of villains and heroes for that too. So if that sort of sounds like, oh, that's a theme that I know about, that one might be one you might want to check out as well. Looks like Impel Down from One Piece is looking really good now. We're getting close to sort of its final form. So Helios 23 is almost ready to release that, I think, if he hasn't already. So by the time this gets put up. But yeah, anyway, well, thank you very much, guys. I hope to get a few more videos out at least in the next week or two while the holidays are still here. And things might slow down a little bit after that, but I'll still be here, still pumping things out. I'm going to put out a poll shortly, I think, to see what folks want from the channel as well. What other things, like, do you want me just to keep doing this sort of stuff? Are there other things you want me to do? I've been trying to do some Tamashii, which is another another board game, and that sort of thing. So not quite happy with how I'm going with filming that sort of thing, but yeah, that and Unmatched and other things like that. There's possibilities for playing other things, or do you want me to just stay in my lane and keep doing Marvel United? That's always an option as well. But zeroing in on I think we're getting close to I shouldn't count my chickens before they hatch, or eggs before they hatch or whatever, but closing and getting closer to sort of like 500 subscribers. So thank you very much to all those folks who have hit that subscribe button. I know I don't really sort of talk about it much, but or promote it, but it really it's exciting being someone who makes these videos and hopes that people enjoy them. It's exciting to see that feedback. Even just that clicking the like button or hitting subscribe is sort of an exciting thing. So yeah, I thought hitting that milestone of 500 has just sort of made me think, well, I sort of haven't hit it yet, but getting closer. But it's made me think about, okay, like, what can I do to sort of improve the channel for you guys, or just, are you enjoying it as it is, or are there things you'd like me to sort of improve? I thought, just as a way of sort of making sure that I'm grateful to those of you who have supported me. How can I help with that sort of thing? So yeah, anyway, so yeah, let me know comments and stuff if you've got any thoughts about that in the comments as well. But I'll probably put a poll out and that sort of thing, just about some of the things I'm thinking about and stuff. So yeah, anyway, well, thank you very much, guys. Maple Monkey out. See ya.